Let's imagine two disks on a shared frictionless axle. The lower disk has a mass of 420 grams, so that can be written as 0.42 kilograms, and the radius is 3.1 centimeter. In fact, that doesn't really matter. Let's write it as 420 grams. The radius is already given as 3.1 centimeters, and its omega, or let's call it the frequency, is given as 180 rpm. Basically, the frequency is same as omega, just the unit is different. While the upper disk has 260 gram of mass and 2.5 centimeter of radius, this was moving initially. This was at rest, and once the upper disk is dropped on the lower disk, they both starts moving. So we have to find the common angular velocity. So definitely, the angular momentum is conserved here. Angular momentum is conserved. Angular momentum is conserved. This means that the initial angular momentum, which was only because of 420 grams, which is I omega, or let's call it I1 omega. What is I1? For a disk about its center, the moment of inertia is 1 over 2 mr square, and omega remains as it is. That will be 1 over 2. Mass is 0.42. R is, the mass is 420. The radius is 3.1 whole square, and the omega is 180 rpm. So I'm not changing the units because even in the final momentum, I'm going to use grams and meters. So eventually that's going to balance out. So L final will be I2 omega. Now I2 will be what? Because of both. So that will be half mr square plus half m2r2 square. And omega is the new omega, which is omega dash. So that's going to be half of m r square plus half of that other mass is 260 and the radius is 2.5 square, and this is omega dash, and the both should be equal, right? So I think let me just try to simplify these two numbers. Let me just grab my calculator. It's 420 times 3.1 square times 180 over 2, which is coming as 363258, and then 420 times 3.1 square over 2 plus 130 times 2.5 square. So this value is coming as 2830.6. So if we conserve that, then both should be equal. 2830.6 omega dash should be equal to 363258. So the new value of omega dash is going to be 363258 over this value, which is coming as 128.33 up to two decimal places. We have to round to two significant figures, and we have to answer in RPM. So that is interesting because up to two significant figures, if you want to round, that's going to be actually 128 up to three significant figures, and up to two significant figures, that's going to be around 130 RPM. So that's how we can answer it. Thank you.